Hey soil sisters, so on this channel we're going to be doing a small gardening segment. If you guys like this, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. That'll let me know exactly what type of videos you like, and let's get into it. Hi guys, so we're going to be talking about 5 beginner tips and how I have learned to grow in my garden. Now I've been trying to get this video out in the last couple weeks, but as you can see, my 1-year-old has made it a little hard. So today we're outside in the garden area and we're going to give you 5 tips that should help you in your garden. Alright guys, so the first step I would give is to make sure you have gloves. I know for me, preparing my garden, I really needed the gloves. I wanted to make sure that it was safe for me and my kids to be able to pull out the weeds without us getting irritated from poison ivy or touching toxic plants. For me, that was a major concern of mine because we did think we did have poison ivy in the back. So I also used a plant app to be able to help me determine what plants we could be able to pull up or we have to be more cautious about. Okay guys, tip number 2. It is very important when gardening to decide what location you want your plants to be. Now for me, because we just moved, I hadn't decided exactly where I wanted to plant yet because I wanted to make sure that my plants at least got 6 to 8 hours of sun. Now depending on what you're growing, some plants like a more shaded area. Some plants need full sun, and again, usually it's about 6 to 8 hours, sometimes longer. I would suggest that you look on the back of the packet of the seeds you're deciding to grow and make sure that the location that you decided to have your plants in are the best choice to have. Now what I decided to do was I watched the sun in the area I thought would be best to plant in for a couple of days. You can even do it a week if you want to. Just determine how long the sun is in that area. Is it full sun? Are you getting shade for a couple of hours of the day? For me, that was a major determination for me to decide where I wanted to plant. Tip number 3, do your research. Now I did this all throughout the process of the gardening season, researching before and after and during, and this really helped me determine not only any issues I was having with my plants, whether it's sick or I was under or overwatering. Researching really helped immensely with that. Not only does research kind of be able to make you understand what's happening with your plants and what should happen with your plants, it also just gets you to a better understanding and become a better gardener. Now I was able to plant a lot of things successfully this year. Is something I was not able to, but researching and being able to understand those things really helped in the long run. Tip number 4, knowing your plant zone. Now this is a really important thing to know. Your plant zone determines when you should start planting indoors, when you should go ahead and start planting for the new season, and when is your first frost date, which determines the end of the planting season. Usually during the end of the planting season and your first frost date, you should be going ahead and taking everything that you have in your garden that is not hardy for the cold weather and going ahead and getting it ready for the next season, which will be in the summer. Now what I have been doing is literally just pulling out the weeds, going ahead and pull out any crops that I am no longer growing, and just going ahead and just turning over the dirt. Once the season starts again next year, what I will do is go ahead and add compost and stuff like that. But for me, knowing my plant zone really determined again what type of things grew well in the area I was in, and corn was a major one that grew well in Nebraska. We are known for growing corn, a lot of corn. Okay guys, tip number 5, knowing your access to the water. Now for me, I have 2 100-feet hoses, and that is able to go from my front part of my yard to the back part of my yard with no issues. But I did halfway through the season have an issue with one of my hoses going out, and after 2 failed attempts of getting a new one, neither one of them was working. They had holes in both of them. I decided to just use the one that I had. Now I planted that knowing that I may not be able to have access to the water all the time. I didn't want to have to always have to pull that hose out and water the back. So I put the things that needed to be watered almost every day in the front of my house. So if I needed to water, I just pulled out half of the hose and watered the front. Now every couple days I will water the back area, which was my pumpkins and my zucchini. Okay guys, so that is it for this video. If you like it, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, keep your mind, body, and soul clean.